In the diagnosis field, you can add and modify up to 5 ICD-10 and up to 5 ICD-9 diagnosis codes for the patient's charge. If diagnosis codes are attached to the patient's account for the selected case, they will default into the charge screen when entering charges for the patient. Likewise, if you click the L button next to the diagnosis field, you can view and attach the last sequence of diagnosis codes that were attached to the last charge entered for the patient. If you would like to use these diagnosis codes for the current charges you are entering, then you can click the OK button. You can then add or modify the diagnoses as needed. To add a new diagnosis, enter a few letters of the diagnosis and then click the Lookup button. In the Diagnosis Search dialog, you can perform an ICD-10 search, an ICD-9 search, use the crosswalk functionality, or use the SNOMED functionality. Once a diagnosis is selected, it will appear in the Selected Code section in the corresponding ICD-10 or ICD-9 column, depending upon the type of code. After you click the OK button, those diagnoses will be separated into sections based on what type of code they use, ICD-10 or ICD-9. After the diagnosis codes have been selected, they will appear in the charge screen in numerical order. You have the ability to change the position of a diagnosis code by highlighting the applicable code and then using the arrow buttons. To remove a diagnosis from the procedure, highlight the diagnosis code you want to remove and then click the Delete button.